disappointed that Lockie's not going to be playing over at Perth?
Yeah, no one's more disappointed than Lockie. But he had a little incident in the game last week. He played the game out, you wouldn't have noticed. But scan showed a little bit of damage to his hamstring, not anything major. But, you weigh up the risk-reward thing of travelling to Perth and coming back, and we've got 12 days before we play Collingwood, so that effectively gives him 20 days to recover. We've made the conservative call, which I think is the right call.
Expect him to be back for that game?
Yeah, I think so, barring any incident, but yeah, I'd be surprised because he was running pretty well yesterday.
What is the extent of the damage?
It's slight. Otherwise, I wouldn't be saying he'd be coming back in the next game. No, it's just, there's something there, but it's not anything major. A low grade is, I guess, what you'd say.
I know you haven't finalised your team yet, but how difficult has it been to weigh up the Kitty replacement for Kitty? I guess whether it's this week or longer term, how you sort of fill that void?
Yeah, well, we've got a lot of depth in that area, albeit, Kitty's obviously our best rebounding defender at the moment. But, it opens the door for people like Noah Ainsworth and Connor McKenna, who's now available from injury. Jimmy Madden's another one that could play there. We've been playing Jared Berry there a little bit. Jasper Fletcher can play there. I feel like we've got options. So the exciting thing is we just get the opportunity to find out what they are over the next few weeks.
I guess the same with Lockie, but you've now developed such a great amount of backups with Cam getting time in the middle and Zach getting time in the middle. You should be able to cover him with all the options you've got.
Yeah, I think we've actually got a pretty good record when Lockie doesn't play. He missed about 7 games a few years back with a syndesmosis, and it reminded me yesterday we won every one of those games. So, you've got to, if you want to be any good in this competition, you've got to have depth. You can't just rely on one player. I understand, that he's the reigning Brownlow medalist and everyone wants to talk about the fact that he's out, but I'd be disappointed if others don't stand up in his absence.
He said the other day that on the review, he thought you guys were lazy and maybe a few guys had got a little bit ahead of themselves, or that was the inference. Did you like that he came out and said that?
He didn't say it. He talked about what we talked about. And if you listen closely to the interview, that's what you'll hear. I was really disappointed when I actually heard it reported that way. We had a meeting on Monday. We looked at the first 50 minutes, which was absolutely outstanding. We looked at the next 25, which was awful, and we looked at the next 50 minutes, which was good. And in that time, we watched the vision and we identified the things that we didn't like, the behaviours that we didn't like, the efforts that we didn't like. And all Lockie did the other day was report that back. He wasn't giving his opinion. If you have a listen, he was reporting back as to what was talked about in that meeting. And, I'm glad he did, because we're not going to shy away from that. We're a really strong organisation. You know what good organisations do? They fess up, they own up to the truth. And that's what we did. Poor organisations would hide and not say what went wrong in that period of time. So I was proud of the way he stepped up. I was disappointed with the way that it was reported. It wasn't Lockie Neal slamming the Brisbane Footy Club or his teammates. He was just merely talking about what happened at that meeting. And I will say this too, and I'm talking to all of you here and everyone else that's in the media. You want me and my players to be honest and talk about interesting things, but when we do, it seems like we make up a story that's a bit bigger than what it actually is. You don't like it when we give robot answers, but that's why we give robot answers, because sometimes people write stories that aren't completely true and aren't a true reflection of what happened in that meeting and what Lockie said. So I'm pretty disappointed about that. I don't think it's a true reflection. We had a good, honest conversation on Monday that everybody was involved with, and everybody at the club was cool with what Lockie said. He was just telling you what we talked about.
Has that been do you think that's been an area of growth within the fact that he was so honest, and to us, like maybe some clubs wouldn't have done that, or maybe you mightn't have done that previously as a club?
I don't know what other clubs would have done, but we've been really honest since the day I've been coach here, so it's nothing new.
What sort of challenge does Fremantle present over there? It's obviously never easy going to Perth.
No, they're a young team. they're a year older now. They had a lot of change last year and probably had a fairly up and down sort of year. They'll be keen to start the year well. I can imagine what their fans will be like. They'll be red hot this weekend. So no, we're expecting a really tough game. It's always hard to go over there and win. We go pretty well at that Oval, but we're expecting the toughest of contests, and we're sort of hoping that we can take the form that we showed for most of the game last week and apply it to the entirety of the game. That's what we'll need to do.
So is that a mental application, you think, Fags, that will hopefully lead to that being a 120-minute performance this week rather than sort of patchy like it was last week?
It wasn't patchy last week. I reckon for 80% of it, it was really good. We paid a huge price for 25 minutes of not playing well, to be honest. I thought halfway through that third quarter we corrected it, but unfortunately we kicked 1 goal 6 for the quarter and didn't kick straight. That really hurt us. I think we kicked 3-9 for the rest of the game. So we halted Carlton's momentum. We just didn't finish our work. So it was just an interesting game. It was just 25 minutes of pretty poor stuff. Probably most weeks in any game of football, you might be on top for 60% of the time and the other team might be on top for 40% of the time. So it was a really weird one that we paid such a huge price for a small portion of time where we didn't play the way we wanted.
How did you address the 25 minutes for the team? What steps have they taken this week heading into Freo?
Nothing. We just showed it and we talk about it. Really honestly, like you build something there, we put the vision up and we go through and go, what didn't we like here? We also watch the first 15 minutes and talk about what we love. So it was just a direct comparison. So that's our role. It's nothing magical or mysterious. It's just really honest stuff. And I'm not the one telling them what went wrong. It's the players looking at it and going, we didn't like that, we didn't like that, we didn't like that. So yeah, we're pretty honest. That's how we get better and improve.
Is there any discussion in the review about the way that they sort of iced the game in those last 5-6 minutes?
Funnily enough, we were sending the runner out to ice the game just as Mackay took that mark and scored, so we had to quickly change it to win the game strategy, which I thought we did pretty well. We won the centre bounce and got it up there, but unfortunately you sort of almost need to score straight away, otherwise you've got 40 people in one little corner. So we missed our moment there. No, if anything, maybe, I don't know, last year we called it early in the game against Melbourne and lost, so we'd sort of been, leaving it a little bit longer in more recent times with good success, and we're probably 30 seconds out. You guys don't know that, but they're the little calls you make. You can get lucky or you can be unlucky,
Freo have extended their coach for just 1 year. What do you make of the discussion? That's not a lot of security as a coach.
I'm not going to buy into discussions about coaches. You've got to be there to know why that was the case. So I'll probably just leave it alone. I'm glad he's got another year though. He's good now.
Last question, guys.
Chris, how's Kitty been this week? The players you've got, like sort of.
Yeah, it was a real blow on half time, that one. He's a much loved player at our club. Really good man, good person. You don't like to see that happen to anyone. So yeah, he's going to have 12 months off now and get ready to go again. But everyone's got around him and supported him, and as we always do. And we've had plenty of practice over the last few years with Rayner and Hipwood and Ashy, Connor McFadden when he's here. I think we've had 5 knee reconstructions, so probably more than our fair share. But we've got good medical staff who know how to get him right, so that's one good thing for him.
Thanks. How do you handle the trip to the west? Does it concern anyone, or what's your plan when you land?
No, we played quite well when we've gone to Perth. We're obviously going a day earlier than we normally do, so usually that makes up for the time difference, and we just do our normal routines, nothing different to that. Have a captain's run tomorrow and a team meeting and just get ready for the game.
Thanks, guys.